It all started one rainy afternoon when Mia was assisting her parents in clearing out her grandmother's attic. A small, dim room filled with misplaced artifacts from a bygone era. The air was heavy with dust and the smell of mildew and old paper, and the wooden floorboards creaked under their feet. Mia noticed an ancient wooden chest hidden in the darkest corner, under a frayed tarp, as sunlight fought its way through dirty windows. The metal hinges were rusted and brittle, and the surface was worn and scratched. She struggled to lift the heavy lid and found stacks of brittle, yellowed photographs bound together with faded ribbons. Mia carefully untangled a bundle and started looking through the photos, her heart pounding with every one. At first glance, they appeared to be typical photos. Quiet street scenes, smiling faces captured in time, family get-togethers from decades ago, and kids playing in sunny fields. However, as she examined them more thoroughly, a troubling trend became apparent. Faint, shadowy figures lurked in the background of many photographs. Their bodies were blurred as if caught between worlds, with hollow eyes watching and faces barely visible. One image showed a translucent hand resting on the shoulder of an apparently unaware woman, while another showed the ghostly silhouette of a child behind a group of adults laughing. The figures appeared to shift slightly out of focus as Mia looked at them more and more, as though they were both scared and eager to be seen. Dot. The temperature in the attic seemed to drop, and Mia felt a chill go down her spine. She sensed eyes on her, heavy but invisible, as though the ghosts in those pictures knew she was there. The tone of the whispers was time-sensitive and desperate, but they were so faint that she could hardly hear them. Fascinated and terrified at the same time, Mia scanned the photos with her phone, zooming in on details too small to see. A chill radiated from the screen each time she discovered a new apparition, and the attic shadows appeared to get closer. Mia started to have restless nights. She snapped a self-portrait in the low light of her bedroom on the first night after finding the pictures. Her blood ran cold as she looked at the picture. A dark figure stood behind her, its eyes glowing dimly like embers in the darkness, its face blurred. The room was empty when she turned around. Strange occurrences increased over the course of the following few days. The camera on her phone would break down, turning pictures into static. Pictures on her walls appeared to shift positions. Whispers reverberated through deserted rooms, and shadowy shapes would flash just out of her line of sight and disappear whenever she looked. Mia was terrified, but she was unable to let go. She learned about tragedy, loss, and secrets best kept hidden as she dug deeper into her grandmother's past. Every new finding seemed to draw her further into a network of restless souls caught between worlds, whose tales could only be told via the eerie images. She understood that these were more than just pictures. They were a warning, a portal, and a plea for assistance from people who had been forgotten for a long time. Dot. As the days went by, Mia's bond with the photos grew stronger and changed from apprehensive interest to something much more unsettling. With a disturbing intensity, the ghosts that were captured in those old photographs started to emerge from their frozen frames and appear in the world around her. Mia was sitting by herself in her dark bedroom one chilly, quiet night, looking through her phone's pictures. The screen suddenly flickered wildly, and dozens of new images appeared, each one displaying a shadowy figure getting closer and closer to her. These were pictures she had never taken. Occasionally, the figures materialized directly behind her, their hollow eyes glimmering with a strange, unnatural light. The room grew colder, the air heavy with a chilling presence that pressed like icy fingers against her skin, making her breath catch. Mia was haunted, but determined to find the answers she sought. She went back to the attic and began frantically going through her grandmother's possessions. She found a dusty, leather-bound diary tucked away under a loose floorboard. The tragic tale of Eliza, a woman who was cursed and confined to the family lineage after being accused of witchcraft decades ago, was written in cramped, faded handwriting on yellowed and brittle pages. Photographs depict Eliza's spirit, trapped between two worlds, pleading for liberation. To break the curse, the diary explained a ritual that involved facing the darkness head-on, bringing the spirits out of the shadows and releasing their tortured souls. Just before midnight that night, Mia went back to the attic with her camera and the instructions from the diary. Carefully positioning her gear, she set the camera to record the room while she performed the ritual out loud. Shadows started to form around her, swirling and combining into misty shapes as the temperature dropped precipitously and her breath started to form visible clouds. voices overlapping in a haunting chorus of desperation and sorrow. The whispers reached a crescendo. Then Eliza's pale, dejected face appeared on the camera's screen, her eyes beseeching for help but glowing unearthly. As she vowed to assist, Mia's voice faltered and reverberated through the chilly air. Gradually, the ghostly shapes started to disappear, turning into glistening specks of light that floated upward, finally freed from their captivity on Earth. The attic felt different as dawn arrived, warmer, lighter, as though a heavy load had been removed. Mia collected the pictures with care, now softly glowing but devoid of the eerie people who had once occupied them. The ghosts had vanished, their tales had been told, and their suffering had subsided. However, the event had permanently altered Mia's soul, serving as a reminder that some memories and curses never really go away. She knew she had opened a door to the unknown, one that would always haunt her dreams. As she locked the attic door behind her, Mia thought the nightmare was finally behind her. Weeks passed in uneasy calm, though she could never shake the sensation that unseen eyes lingered at the edges of her world. At night, she sometimes caught herself waking to faint clicking sounds, like the shutter of an old camera snapping in the dark. Still, she convinced herself it was only her imagination, a lingering echo of fear. One morning, determined to reclaim normalcy, Mia decided to print the photographs she had scanned from the attic. When she picked up the prints from the shop, her stomach dropped. The images were not the same as the files she had sent. Instead of faded family portraits, every single photo showed Mia herself, sleeping in her bed, cooking in the kitchen, walking through her house. Each angle was impossibly precise, as if taken by someone standing right beside her, documenting her life in secret. Terrified, Mia dropped the prints and ran home, her pulse pounding in her ears. She checked every lock, every window, but her house was empty. Still trembling, she opened her phone and scrolled through her gallery again, only to find new pictures loading one by one before her eyes. Each one was darker, blurrier, and closer than the last, until the final image appeared. Her breath froze. The photo showed her sitting exactly where she was, holding her phone, eyes wide in shock. But in this picture, she wasn't alone. Standing directly behind her was Eliza, no longer blurred or pleading, but smiling faintly, her hand resting firmly on Mia's shoulder. The phone buzzed violently in her hands, the screen flickered, and the final words appeared in crimson text across the image. "Now, you belong with us." The attic door creaked open upstairs on its own, and Mia realized with dread that the curse hadn't been broken. It had only been passed on. Did you like today's video? Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. See you later.